This world is in need.
Cynicism,
skepticism,
pain,
confusion,
conflict, and division
grip our society.
Our humanity.
100 years ago, a man named P.C. Nelson saw the need and decided to do something about it.
Our institution was founded with a vision to give men and women a better understanding of the Word of God,
so they can answer the call, be equipped, and begin to heal the world.
The need remains, and now it's our turn to act.
Will we answer the call in this generation?
Will we be the ones who bring light to the darkness?
or will we miss the opportunity and let the world pass us by?
Throughout the history of this institution, we have said yes to training spirit-empowered leaders for every arena of culture.
From the marketplace to the mission field.
Today, we say yes again to the call to reach more people,
to extend our borders and take the mission further.
Today, we say yes to the next 100 years of taking the whole gospel
to the whole world.
Will you give your whole life,
story,
talents,
gifts,
calling,
ambition
for the whole world?
Will you say yes?
All right, we're back here live in the Schaefer Center on the campus of Southwestern Assemblies of God University. And this is pod number 4 in the Naismith bracket. And if you're just tuning in to watch Baker SAGU, which is next, wow, you missed one. You really missed one. The 15 seed beat the 2 seed. Evangel over Florida Memorial University. I don't think anyone saw that one coming except Evangel Nation, the Valor Nation, I should say, and the Evangel team and the fans, Coach Bert Capel. They knew what they were doing, and we think he's a genius. Wow, a genius of a coach. He put together a great game plan, and his players absolutely executed it without flaw. And it helps to shoot 50% in a first-round tournament game, which is a little bit unusual, but not if you're the 15 seed. You come out loose, and, man, they just hit everything it felt like. So hats off to Evangel Valor. They move on to round 2, which will take on the winner of this game that's about to happen between SAGU and Baker University. And I promise you, this is going to be an exciting one. 2 teams that have a kind of the same complexion in style. So they're a little bit smaller than most of your NAIA teams, but yet a little bit faster. So I expect that this the pace of this game will be very up-tempo. You will not see a ton of half-court breakdowns unless just everybody starts missing layups. But a lot of attacking the basket from the wings. The slashers are going to make a lot of points. I would keep my eye on C.J. Hall and Cortland Blake for SAGU. Definitely 2 guys that are capable of outscoring other teams altogether. I don't think that'll happen in this particular game, but they will probably both get their 20 points. And then Coach Dill just always depends on the guys that do the non-stat sheetable stuff. I don't even know if that's that phrase was legitimate. Sheetable, is that a word? I don't know. But there's 3 guys, Alaric Hall and Noah Bowling and J.J. Bowling, the Bowling brothers, that just seem to be the glue that makes everything happen for SAGU. And when those guys play at the top of their game, it just seems like SAGU's one of the top teams in the country. So look out for that. Baker University comes in. And Rugatusa. I believe I probably butchered that name, but he is a big, big-time player. Keep your eye on him. And they're going to – I had a good chance to talk with Coach Douly yesterday, and he feels like this Baker team is really believing with every game. They believe just a little bit more in what they can do. And they had a fantastic season. Or runner-up in the Heart of America Conference. So they come down from Kansas. Nice little 8 to 10 hour trip. And they seem to be pretty loose out there. Even today in the walkthrough, they seem to be loose, having a lot of fun. Coaches out there taking some shots with the players, mixing it up. So you always look for that in this tournament time because a lot of teams will tighten up. And that is the worst thing you can do in a tournament setting when it's one and done. You got to be loose and to play your best basketball. And when you get tight, you begin to make turnovers, and you can't slow the game down like you want it, so you can see it. And these guys are really – it's starting to get rowdy here in the Schaefer Center. Baker has gone over to just – They've completed their pregame warm-up and now getting hydrated. SAGU down there, as you can see, having the last huddle before the pregame festivities. There's a lot of energy in the air. This is my favorite time of the year. We can't say it's March Madness, but I call it March Mayhem. And the mayhem has begun. We have put up the NAIA scoreboard for you. And you can see a lot of the action thanks to Champion Sports Network for putting all that together. And you're able to follow the games that are going on. And there's let's see, there is 32 games tonight. 32 games. So a lot to keep up with. We'll keep our eye on this board all night long, let you know what's happening across the nation. And now I'm going to throw it down to the national anthem. We'll be back in just a few minutes.
And now the starting lineup for the number 10 seed, Baker Wildcats. At guard, a 6'2 senior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, number 1, Dylan Smith. At guard, a 6'5 sophomore out of Topeka, Kansas, number 2, Ty Henry. At forward, a 6'5 junior out of Kansas City, Missouri, number 3, Ahmed Magoob. At forward, a 6'6 junior out of Omaha, Nebraska, number 11, Noah Rigatusu. At forward, a 6'7 junior out of Tulsa, Oklahoma, number 12, Quentin Harvey. The head coach for the Wildcats is Sean Dooley. And now the starting lineups for the number 7 seed SAGU Lions. At guard, a 5'9" junior out of Mansfield, Texas, number 1, Alaric Hall. At guard, a 6'2" junior out of Mansfield, Texas, number 2, CJ Hall. At guard, a 5'10" grad student out of Van Austin, Texas, number 3, Noah Bowling. At forward, a 6'6" sophomore out of Van Austin, Texas, number 5, JJ Bowling. And at forward, a 6'6" senior out of Fort Worth, Texas, number 23, Cortland Blake. The head coach for the Lions is Delton Dill. The officials for today's contest are Moses Owens, David Lott, and Ryan Snotter.
All right, there you've had it. The pregame festivities are in the books, and now it's time to get this game underway. SAGU, just take a little time, a little extra time to be with one another over there in the huddle. So for Baker, jumping up is Quentin Harvey. He's their leading scorer at 17 points a game. And then I mentioned Rigatuso. It's kind of the heart and soul of this team. He really plays hard. He's a lot of fun, super talent. And then Dylan Smith with the ball. I don't know if he's seen the level of Alaric Hall type defense. Many people have it until they face Alaric Hall, but he's very fast. Hall saves it, gets back in, and here comes the fast, furious pace of the Lions. And that's what Cortland Blake does.
If he gets his feet set, it is down.
It is. I mean, he's the best three-point shooter in the land. Averages 52% from the three-point line. Harvey tried to force it. And in a rare moment of clarity, the Lions start a half-court offense. But it didn't take long, and J.J. Bowling gets his first three of the game.
It's a great sign for the Lions.
Little step back. Nice confident shot from Ty Henry. Good crisp pass in, and now it goes back out to Hall. Hall hits the cutter. Not a great look. I think Noah Bowling anticipated no defense there. J.J. Bowling picks up the rebound, and here comes C.J. Hall. They go back to a half-court set. So if you're not familiar with the SAGU team, there's two sets of brothers on the floor. 1 and 2, and 3 and 5. So 1 and 2 are the Hall brothers. 3 and 5 are the Bowling brothers. And number 23 is Cortland Blake. So as you can imagine, this SAGU team has a lot of chemistry. A lot of in-game hours together over the years. Cortland Blake last year, Conference Player of the Year.
They're one of the best teams in the country at pace.
Yeah.
And they will heat you up on defense, and they will be hitting a three before you know it.
Coach Dill uses a word a lot. It's called connectedness. And I mean, you get that connectedness with all the brother relationships that are on your team. It's a little unusual to be that connected, and it just pays off. SAGU being one of the smallest teams in the country, but they just know where each other will be at all times. Oh, great defense from Smith. That one's off the mark from a long way out by Magoob. Baker with some tenacious defense. I say, hey, SAGU, you're not the only ones. You're not the only ones that can play defense. I like it. Dylan Smith just got his hand in your grill all the time. Oh, that's pretty. What a great pass. That's C.J. Hall with the conversion on the reverse layup. From way out. That was Harvey, the leading scorer, coming up a little short. Oh, that is just tenacious.
You don't have to play defense very long. They're going to shoot the first look they get as well.
They really do. They like to put it up. That's why I say this is going to be a fast and furious pace. And that was Rigatuso. And he just forced his way in there. And I think he potentially could be a problem for SAGU.
Yeah, sort of a matchup nightmare. That might be a strong word. But
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, we got a lot of game to see.
Yeah,
but,
when he starts doing that Barkley down low to the block.
And he's good at just holding his elbow in, but also using his forearm to hold you off as he's going in for the attack. And guys that really know how to do that, they generally put up good numbers. Quick shot. That's in and out for Noah Bowling. Baker likes to up the pace. That one's off the mark by Ty Henry. That one's way off. Rigatuso gets the rebound. Dylan Smith cuts. It was a good cut. I like what happened, how this developed. Watch this, fake in, boom, back door. Just a little, the spacing wasn't great for that pass.
A little congested down there.
Yeah, I think Rigatuso got a little deep on the wing. He just tried to force it. Alaric Hall sends the pass down to number 24 in the white jersey. And that's Noah Yonker. Now, number 20 for the Wildcats comes in. And I saw him in practice. He's really good, very athletic, under control, good footwork. Solid around the basket. And you see him posting up Yonker. He's now going to try to go one-on-one. This Wildcat team likes the one-on-one scenario. They ISO a lot.
Yeah, and he drew lots of attention.
Yeah.
If you
just couldn't get the foul.
Yeah, but add that kick out, and we're looking at
somebody's
a
wide open. And that will be the first media timeout, I believe, of the half. If you're watching us on YouTube, be sure to log in and chat with us. So there's a lot of folks in the chat, and that's a fun way to engage with us. Something that your CBS affiliates will not offer you as you watch March Madness. We separate ourselves here at the March Mayhem. We let you get involved. Tell us where you're watching from. Type it in the chat if you're on Facebook. Put it in the comments. We'll see it. We'll feature it. We'll talk to you. Watching from Austin. Pine Time. Thank you for watching in Rome, Italy. Are you kidding me? Hope to see you in Kansas. Wow. I'm not sure. Somebody's flying to the final 16 site from Rome, Italy. That is awesome.
Maybe that's a typo. There is a Rome, Texas.
It said Italy on there, if I'm not mistaken. So I love it. Baker has the ball. They're now running a half-court set. That's a little stutter step from Rigatusa.
They didn't call that in the last game.
They really did it. I saw it a couple times, and which is shocking, by the way, for those that are not used to Texas refereeing. One of the first things these refs look for is a shuffle or a stutter step that they can call travel on. A lot of traveling calls in this league down here. SAGU 11, Baker 7. Still a very close game. Baker doing well with the pace that SAGU is trying to force. And they have, more than I would have thought, pushed SAGU out into a half-court set. Collins shot that last shot, and he's not a prolific three-point shooter at all. He is kind of a neo-prototype point guard, and he's one of the bigger point guards in this conference. He comes in and fills in for Larry Hall, but he's a utility player, really, the way Coach Douly uses him, and his defensive prowess can speak it at any position. He is not afraid to cover anyone.
Very valuable. He can guard.
High impact player.
Yes.
So
we have a shot clock issue.
Okay. Yeah, it looked like maybe it got stuck. And so these clocks are on a wireless mechanism. And sometimes when the gym gets full, when it is 80-85% full right now. All the phone activity can sometimes present a problem, so they have to reset it.
I noticed in an ACC conference game yesterday, the officials.
How about today?
I got you. They had an issue just similar to this, and the officials did not let the players go to the bench.
Oh, really?
They said this is not a timeout.
Yeah, and I actually kind of like that. You don't want them to get free sit-down rest. It is a little different, but they are getting water, so I don't know if the rules have changed, but back in the day. All right, sorry about that. There's a little technical difficulty. One of the power panels have gone out on that side of the gym, and they are trying to get that sorted out. We're going to look into it and see, but looks like even our cameras on that side have lost power, and the score clock's lost power. So we will be back very shortly with some news on how we're going to proceed, but they can't do it without power.
When I am hurt, you pull me close to you. You brought me here, a place where I can find myself in you. I won't back down, freedom is what I choose. No more fear, 'cause I have found my happiness in you.
All right, we're back live in the Schaefer Center I would say crisis averted, but it wasn't completely averted. We lost part of the power grid here in the gym, and therefore we were unable to move the clock or anything, so nothing was working. Now we're back up and going, and here comes Baker. Looks like they made the most of the downtime. C.J. Hall just missed one from the side, and Baker's running hot. That one's short. Larry Call gets the rebound. Pushing hard, gets it to the corner. J.J. Bowling making a move. Finds his brother, Noah. Wide open. C.J. Hall. You cannot leave C.J. Hall alone. It would be a big mistake. That one's off. Baker takes a lot of quick shots. They're willing to make this a big possession game and hope that the numbers fall their way. That was great defense underneath by Baker to stop C.J. Hall with the move to the bucket. And that is going to be a foul on Noah Bowling, offensive foul.
The only problem with that, I love playing with pace. But if you want to be picky and look between the lines, if you do have a matchup that you could take advantage of, like, SAGU's not the biggest team.
Yeah, right.
You're really not doing that.
So these two teams look a lot like each other. You have Magoob and Rigatusa that are like their bigs. I mean, they might be slightly bigger than the bigs for SAGU, but not much. So you kind of understand that's how you get in your groove. You up the pace. You find ways to convert real easy off the pace. And it's hard if you're used to high pace to just break it down. And I do think that there could be some vulnerability on SAGU's side that Baker could take advantage of. Euro step, delayed Euro step by C.J. Hall. And he gets the finger roll to fall.
The advantage of playing off 2 feet.
Yeah. That was a clean-looking corner shot by Ty Henry. He converts. That one's off from Noah Bowling. Easily rebounded by Baker. Here they come. Rigatuso passes it up to the top. Now it's down to Magoob. No, I'm sorry. Not Magoob.
Harvey.
That's the leading scorer, Quentin Harvey. He's got 5 now. Oh. Cortland Blake is a handful down on the block for anybody, even the bigs that come in at 6'8", 6'9", a lot of times can't handle him. And we're going to get the 10-minute media timeout. And Cortland Blake will come back and shoot 2 free throws because he did not make the layup. But I think Coach Douly kind of likes, he's willing to test the waters on the pace game, it looks like. They're not backing down because the defense is tenacious. Baker's looking really strong on defense. They're pushing out. The only, maybe, if I were to say early on, and you can't really count it as a flaw yet, but they're giving up some of the perimeter area. They're leaving it open because they get, on the attacks, they all get dragged down to help defense. So if SAGU gets going, which they do a lot, I mean, this is a three-point shooting team. Doesn't take a scouting genius to figure that out. But if SAGU heats up from the three-point line, then Baker's going to find itself needing to stretch out that defense. They do great when they attack the attacker, and the help has just been superb. But we'll see if they can stretch that perimeter defense out. And Cortland Blake hits both of those free throws, keeping SAGU at a three-point lead. Looks like maybe both of those knees hit. I don't know if they called a foul. Did they call a foul on Noah Bowling?
They did.
Okay. Number 22, Russell, for the Wildcats, is new to the game. That is a incredibly late call. Yep, that's bang bang, but probably could have been called a little bit earlier. Sometimes the whistle slips out of the middle. You can't get to it. You're just like,
You don't think they're waiting to see if they made the bucket?
Maybe. I mean, that's the thing too. Harvey hits his first of the two. And if he hits this one, he'll have 7 on the night. And he does. He's got 5 rebounds, 7 points, 1 foul. Oh, great defense. Pick the pocket. Quentin Harvey, very under control there. He's got 9. And for the first time tonight, Baker is in the lead. Yep. Going to get the bump. Good aggressive play by Collins. Got Russell right where he wanted, on his shoulder, created the contact and got the foul.
It already seems like there's been more free throws in this game.
Oh, then there was the whole.
The first.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Not even, no question. A lot of free throws already in this game. Justin Collins hits both of his free throws. And now SAGU takes the lead. That's 2 lead changes. I expect we'll probably see a lot more. That was long. Harvey. Wide open, fake. That one's short by C.J. Hall.
The energy on the offensive glass usually pays off.
C.J. Hall asking for a pick from Cortland Blake. He steps off, so he rolls out and then takes it himself. You don't see Cortland Blake put it on the floor and take it to the hoop like that very much. If he opens that part of his game up, oh boy.
Especially if the other team has a true 5 on him.
Yeah. Yeah, and that's what he did. He kind of took advantage of Russell there and knew he had the speed to get around him. Oh, that's just a nice take. Good gritty play from Magoob. So far, my favorite name in the tournament. Russell gets the rebound. Clears it back out. Whittick asking for the reset on offense. And then that one's short from Griffiths. Magoob, Griffiths, Russell.
Baker with their own offensive rebounding.
And that's a just an unforced turnover from Harvey. Off the mark. The pace has slowed down a little bit. Last 3 possessions for each team.
Ever since the shot clock malfunction.
Well, yeah. They came out right after that with a couple possessions of quickness, and then it's just been kind of slow going. Yep. That's going to be Griffiths with the foul. Well, Coach, look on the Jumbotron, and does Griffiths have 3 Fs in it? Maybe it's just my eyes.
It does.
Yeah, I think they misspelled it. I think it's Griffith.
Well,
I don't know how to pronounce 3 Fs if it's for real. It's not, but and it could be just an optical illusion because of the I and the T after the Fs. Noah Yonker puts one up from the top. It's no good. Just a 1-point lead for the Lions. Here come the Wildcats. That one got tipped, so it was short. Don't leave Trace Bowling open. He can knock him down.
Yet another bowling.
The cousin. There's 2 brothers and a cousin. Ooh, thought that was good from Griffith. Hall, using his speed, gets it down to Yonker, and Yonker just couldn't hit the point blank.
Both teams have gone a little cold.
Yeah, I think it's a little fatigue. I thought there was going to be a media timeout at 5. They're probably next dead ball, and both coaches are seeing that their team needs some air. Oh, that was from downtown Noah Bowling.
The senior will get you going.
Oh, tough pass from Magoob. There is the dead ball, which was needed for the immediate timeout. Took about a minute and 19 seconds to get that one done. All right, watch it from Kansas. Big Baker fan. All right, we're getting the Baker fans in the chat. I love it. I'm just keeping my eye out on a lot of those scores going on around the country. 32 games tonight. This is the most exciting night in NAIA basketball. This is kind of what you play the season for, to get in the tournament and get a chance to make a run to Kansas City, maybe a national championship. Tight one. Florida College and Marion. I knew that would be close. 63-63. That's happening up in Indiana, I believe. Oh, Larry call so quick. C.J. Hall is an acrobat sometimes. It's crazy how he could be surrounded by opponents and then somehow come out with a shot.
Don't ever bet against him getting a shot off.
Getting it off, that's true. He does get it off. And that is Rigatuso with the excellent play in the paint, creating contact, just like any veteran you would expect to do. He made it happen, and now he's going to get to shoot 2 free ones. Tried to come out, but it stayed down. Shooters roll. He's quite the athlete, Coach. I was watching Baker's workout today, and man, he gets up extremely high. Had some great dunks.
He's your pick in the dunk contest, huh?
Yeah, actually, yep. Him and Mitchell, I think, would win this pod's dunk contest. Mitchell from Florida Memorial. That is a great play by C.J. Hall. CJ's a pretty good free throw shooter. Comes in about 78% on the year. He knocks that one down. Now, SAGU lead back up to 6. Magoo trying to make something happen down on the baseline, got trapped. C.J. Hall has 12 points on the night.
Just kind of felt like it was almost time for a SAGU
Push.
I call it. Yeah, they were right on the edge of that for the last couple minutes.
Yeah, well, there was this bucket void that was happening for both teams for a good solid 4 minutes. And they're just trading back and forth attempts. And the defense wasn't especially tenacious, just enough to stay in front. And you'll get those lulls. It is ebb and flow in basketball. Who breaks out, and I'm sure Baker will probably hit a little run in the next couple of minutes. Rigatuso puts that one up, and that's not going to be his foul.
Looks like they got Trace on a push.
Yeah, they did, and that is going to put that is going to be a on the floor foul, so no shooting. Oh, that's a great rebound by Henry. That was fantastic. Quentin Henry reminds me a little bit of C.J. Kelly, who used to play with SAGU earlier. Just very, he's long, nimble. He just can bounce off the floor and gets up really quickly. Helps him, if he doesn't get the rebound, he gets his hand on it and just kind of jars it loose.
Keeps it alive.
Yeah, love those players. Ooh, that's going to be out on Alaric Hall, unforced turnover. Bounces off his foot, giving Baker another opportunity to cut into this 8-point lead. Ooh, thought he was going to pull it. Ty Henry has been hot from that specific spot all night.
They needed that one.
They really did. Great hit. And then Noah Yonker comes with a little baby hook with the left hand. Oh, that is so nice.
The Dirk.
Quentin Harvey. Oh, that was just nice. The one leg up. That was the Dirk. Oh, yeah. Beautiful play by Quentin Harvey. .2% Milk thinks that C.J. Hall is the GOAT.
That's not a bad vote.
We got a lot of Baker fans out there hitting us up in the chat. If you're watching on YouTube, log into your account and chat it up with everybody. Get some friendly banter going. And if you're on Facebook or Twitch or livestream.com, by all means, we'll see all the chat boxes or the comments. We'll feature you. Ooh. C.J. Hall might have got away with a little travel. Not a great pass attempt from Alaric Hall.
Three-second difference
between the shot and the game clock. This is a really big possession for Baker. They could convert and go in. Ooh. Off the hands of SAGU. 5 seconds left. They could convert here at least a 2. You know, you're only down 3. Man, you got to feel good about that. Oh, that is so good. Ty Henry.
CJ is so fast.
He is. How did he get down that far the court in such a short amount of time? Wow. That is speed from CJ Hall. And there you have it. Baker played a fantastic. They were down 8 just about 90 seconds ago and brought it back. You got to be feeling really good if you're Coach Douly going into the locker room. And now he's got a little evidence that he can say, look, you guys can play with these guys just because it's on their home court. Don't let that bother you. You could do this. So there's a little belief he has to work with there. All right. It's halftime. We're going to take a quick break. We got a couple of interviews. I caught up with the coaches of each team in this game, and we just wanted to give you a chance to get to know the coaches. So we'll play those interviews during halftime. Be sure to check them out because the 4 coaches that came to this pod, I am so impressed with. Obviously, we're here. We know Delton Deal, and he is the cream of the crop. But Coach Douly, oh, man, what a class guy. I just enjoyed my time with him. And so watch these interviews. We'll be back in just a few minutes to get the second half started. You're watching the SAGU Sports Network.
I am so excited to be here with my good friend, and I've known this guy for quite a while now, since he's been here at SAGU, and we're going to get into that. But head coach of the SAGU Lions, Delton Deal, thank you for taking the time. You are the 4th coach now and the last one. So this is going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
All right. So So let's dive in. Just like I talked to the other coaches, we're just trying to give the people on the other side of the lens an idea of what it took to get here and the journey. So talk a little bit about and congratulations, by the way.
Thank you.
I mean,
it's a huge
I mean,
accomplishment to be playing still at this time.
You keep going, and you go so many times, and I think sometimes we can take it for granted, but it's a big deal to make this national tournament. Yeah. So congratulations. All right, to the journey. Sure. Tell us a little bit how you got started, and then give us some cliff notes on how you got here.
Yeah, so a little bit of a unique coaching journey. You know, most coaches in college level especially played somewhere or did some other things. I'm not, I didn't play in college. So when I was in high school, actually the women's coach here at SAGU, actually, which is a cool story, Michael Sons, was my high school coach my senior year of high school. And our relationship, very, very close. And so I kind of knew at that time that that's kind of what I wanted to do. Well, he honestly changed my life. So I was like, man, you know, what's a way that I can give back? And, you know, I felt like God was telling me that's what I wanted to do. So when I got out of high school, I went to ministry school in Florida at Fire School of Ministry, which is an extension of Brownsville Assembly of God down there. And I went to school there for a year, and then I came back, and he actually gave me a job as his women's assistant coach. I was 20 years old at the time.
And where was this?
And this is at Bethesda Christian School in Fort Worth. So I was there. I was a junior high coach for a year, and then in the middle of the season, you know, when I'm a young buck, I'm like 21 years old, and the middle of the season, the coach got moved on, and I took over the varsity team there at Bethesda Christian School. So I'm a little kid, don't really know what I'm doing, just a lot of energy, and you know, poured it into it, and we were pretty successful. And you know, my second year there, we actually ended up winning the state championship there, which is pretty cool. 2 years. So very early. And then, you know, from there I had a buddy that was coaching in my district at the time who asked me if I wanted to go to Nebraska with him to be his assistant coach at York College in Nebraska, another NAIA school, great place, love it. I said, no way, I'm not going to Nebraska, cornfields, I'm from the city, not doing that. But, you know, God works in mysterious ways, opened up a door, went up there with my wife and 2 kids for not much money, and lived in Nebraska. I was assistant for a year, became the head coach my second year there. Was real successful there, and I ended up being there for 8 seasons as a head coach. That was pretty awesome. Great experience. Loved the people. honestly shaped who I am and shaped a lot of, how I coach and all the things that I've done. But, God opens this door here at SAGU, here in the Metroplex. I'm from here.
What season is this for you?
This is my 7th season here.
Oh, wow.
So 7th season here. So followed, one of the best coaches in NAIA history statistically, and just he's a great coach, Donnie Boswick, who's at Oklahoma Wesleyan. And so followed him up, which was a tall task because they had been very good here. And, hopefully I've nurtured it pretty well, and just trying to establish, who I am and we can be as a culture. And so love this place. It's been awesome for me and my family. It's awesome being back home, and wouldn't be anywhere else.
So if I'm counting it right, it sounds like 20, 21 years of coaching, right?
That's exactly right.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of years for a guy my age already.
Yeah.
I feel I'm already old.
It is.
So,
it's like half your life.
Right,
And that's
exactly.
not much,
Right.
but 20 years, wow. You wake up, well, you kind of said that you hope that you've maintained what Donnie left, and we'll say, yeah, you have. I think only 1 year you haven't been to the tournament. These other coaches, man, it's been such a pleasure getting to know them. I know that you,
group of guys, man. That's just some elite coaches. And when the pod came out, that's one. This is off tangent, but when the pod comes out, you start to pay attention to who you could possibly play. And one thing I look at is the coaches and what you are, and knowing some of these guys and the success they've had as players and coaches. And I'm like, man, it's gonna be a tough one. So very, very strong pod coaching wise.
I would agree.
Great men.
Let's talk about the matchup a little bit. You got Baker round 1. We just got to see them go through. It's more than a walk around. They were going at it. So they look quick. I don't know what your scouting report is, but as Coach Douly said, hey, we're at this time of the season. There's no secrets.
What it is.
So everybody
100%.
knows. And what is it that you think, you just talk a little bit about the matchup as much as you want, but what is the one thing you could either bring to the table or that you're going to have to just take away from them to get a win?
Well, they're very, very good, very connected. I love the way that they guard together. They can kind of guard, everybody can guard every position, so they can switch you out and do a whole bunch of different things. Offensively, they're led by their 2 guys that can really score the ball in the interior, their 4 and their 5 man, which really aren't, true big men, but very, very talented scorers, and they can do that really well. But it's not just those 2 guys, because those 2 guys are where everybody will focus. But I think that, what they get out of their 2 wing players especially adds so much to the game. They're very active. They're smart basketball players, and they keep possessions alive. And it's just, that effort, especially when you get to this time of year, will really separate you from where you are, to where you're going. And so, a lot of respect for them and what they do. I think for us, obviously we're a little bit similar, and connectedness is a big part of what we do. So I think, us constantly being moving and making sure that we're sharing the ball, and then, defending at a level that is worthy of the national tournament. That's a thing. So whenever we do that, we're pretty good. And I think that if we can disrupt a little bit of what they do, hopefully, we can play well and have a chance there at the end.
Yeah, it's one and done. So you definitely want to come out and play your best. But I like we had talked earlier, and you said actually it's a good time to play loose. And just go give your best effort, and don't get uptight about it. Just give your best. And I think you guys got a good shot. This pool is really interesting when you really dive down.
A lot of different styles.
There are so many different styles.
Yes, it is.
And it is going to be, from a basketball fan's perspective, I can't wait to see those contrasts and how you're going to get really great effort from all the teams. So we should be able to see how the styles work out. All right. Well, good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, man.
Appreciate you.
I appreciate you,
Yes, sir.
as always, taking the time. All right, guys, we're so excited to have one more coach to bring to you, and that is the head coach of Baker University, Coach Douly. Sean, thank you so much.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Taking the time. You guys just had a practice, looked like a little more than a walkthrough, but congrats on getting in the tournament, 2nd year in a row for you. And if I did my homework right, or my research team did it right, this is number 7 or 8
for the university. Yeah, that's correct.
So correct. 2 years in a row, that's nothing to like sneeze at. That's quite an achievement. How did you get into coaching? Let's start there. Tell us, how did you get there? You're a player, an NAIA player?
Yeah, that's correct. I played at Columbia College, so I was an NAIA guy, just like these guys. I was fortunate enough. Actually, I was a junior college transfer that ended up playing there at Columbia College, and we were fortunate enough to make the NAIA tournament both years that I was there. So I have experience as a player playing in it, and then also I went then started coaching. My first spot was at William Jewell College, which was an NAIA school at that time. Had the chance to work for a Hall of Famer and Coach Larry Holly, and we were fortunate enough to play in the tournament. Actually, at that time they were Division II, so it was in Branson at College of the Ozarks when we did. And then I went back and worked for my old coach, Coach Burchard, there at Columbia College. I was assistant there for 5 years. We were very fortunate to make it to the tournament. Actually, even made it once all the way to the national championship game in Kansas City. So when I got the job at Baker, that's kind of what I wanted to do and bring a team to the championship.
We're excited to have you. This pod, how do you feel about the matchup, like this pod?
Yeah, it's funny kind of how you sometimes see some similarities and stuff, but I've had a chance to meet and kind of in different settings. I met Delton a couple years ago. I actually was down here in Texas when I was recruiting, and we were watching some games and just ended up talking. I think we talked for probably 2 or 3 hours.
Oh, wow.
Just really impressed. I had seen his teams play on film, and actually one time I seen him in Kansas City when they had made the NAIA tournament, and that's what we were talking about. And then obviously you've got Evangel, in here, who was in our conference, just left our league. This was the first year that they hadn't been in the Heart. So that's a long-time rival, kind of a lot of history there between Evangel and Baker. And then obviously Florida Memorial being down in the Miami area, don't know much about them, but I know they're really good.
Yeah.
As is everybody when you get to this stage of it.
So. You have to play SAGU, and I'm sure you've done some homework there. Just a little bit. We've looked at a little bit of your footage from games that you played at home. But seeing your guys here in person, very impressive. You're going to be a little larger than SAGU. To get a win in this matchup, what do you think? Give me a key. I'm not asking for trade secrets or anything.
You're good. I think at this stage, when we're all 30+ games in and everybody knows everything about, each other. I think the first thing you notice when you watch SAGU is their pace, the pace that they play at. They play extremely fast, which should be an entertaining game because we tend to do that as well. We lost a guy to a wrist, Corey Jones, that's kind of hurt us a little bit, a really good athletic guard. Our pace has probably slowed down a little bit without him, but we still like to get up and down and play quick, and obviously they do as well. So I think for us, one of the biggest things is just kind of limit them in transition, not getting some easy buckets. Obviously, they got 2 guys that can score over 20 a game, so they're going to be a big focus for us. But I think sometimes when you get a team in here, those 2 guys are really good, but they've got a lot of good pieces. I think when you look at us, you see our 2 guys in Harvey and Rigatuso, they've kind of carried us. But we feel like the strength of our team is our team, and we're going to play 10 to 11 guys.
Wow.
So hopefully we'll be able to keep up. And like I said, it should be a very entertaining, fast-paced game. I'm
glad you said that about how deep you are. You can play 11 guys. I mean, there's not many teams in the country that can do that. I like your chances with that kind of depth in a back-to-back type of scenario. You have to play Friday night, and if you get the win, you play Saturday. Have you been in that situation this season yet?
Yeah, no, and that's the one thing about our league. We've played 24 conference games this year. So when you got so many conference games, you just, we only had 4 non-con. So a lot of times teams that have more non-conference games, they'll go play in a classic where you're playing those Fridays, Saturdays. We did not this year. So with our 4 games, they were kind of spread out. So we haven't done that. So that hopefully that's a good problem we hopefully have.
Yep.
Because we means we won that first game.
Yeah.
But I think our depth does help and kind of suitable for that. But at the end of the day, right now, when you get in there, and this is the thing always about the NAIA tournament, obviously it's changed a little bit over the last few years where they've gone to the pods, but you got to be able to string together really good days, maybe sometimes 3 or 4 of them in a row.
Well, I think it's going to be a well of a match because you and SAGU are both experienced. You might be a little bit deeper. That might really help if you do get the win for the next day, whoever that is. But I believe this could be your first tournament win.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
in
correct.
history,
in Baker's,
right?
yes,
Yeah.
that's correct.
Wow. So a lot to play for.
A lot to play for, and obviously we've got our hands full. You know, Coach Douly's done a great job. He's got a great ball club this year, and then obviously, you know, playing in their home court.
Yeah.
So, you know, we'll have to play well.
I'm gonna tell you a little secret, and I've said this on broadcast many times. I think away teams like to come to SAGU and play. This is just a friendly gym to shoot in. It usually brings out the best in the teams that come in. It's a tough place to play when it's packed out. You may have lucked out a little bit in that it's spring break week, so you guys might have as many fans as SAGU. I don't know. But anyway, I like your chances. Good luck. Thank you so much for taking time.
Absolutely.
Coach
Thanks for
Sean
having me.
Douly from Baker. This is going to be an amazing tournament. Don't miss it. We'll be right back after these messages.
All right, we are back live in the Schaefer Center and trying to get this second half of this great matchup. Baker was down 8 and then really had a surge at the end and cut it to 3. And I have the great pleasure of athletic director for Baker University sitting up here watching the game with him. We put a headset on her. Susan Decker, thank you so much, Susan, for coming in and being willing to talk some basketball with us and talk about things that are going on at Baker. Let's warm up. How did you think the first half went for the guys? And by the way, Susan Decker is the leading in women's basketball at Baker, has the most wins as head coach. Did I say that right?
You are correct. Yes, you are correct. Yeah, I was there for coaching for 11 years, started back in 2000. This is my 18th year at Baker.
Oh, wow.
I took a little bit of a break and did some administrative work out on the East Coast before I came back. But I appreciate, John, you having me on tonight.
Oh, it is absolute pleasure, and thank you so much for agreeing to do it. Some people don't like the mic, but I got a feeling you're an old pro at this kind of stuff. So while we're in the break, talk to us a little bit about what is going on. What's exciting in Baker athletics right now?
You know, there's a lot of things that have gone really, really well this year. From the fall, you know, our our football team made the second round of the national tournament.
I think that's what we know you guys best for down here, because football's so big.
Yeah, and that's not unusual kind of across the country. Football's been traditionally very, very good at Baker. Miguel Regalato's our new football coach there. I'm really happy to have him, and he's done a great job with that program. You know, as the fall went along and we got into basketball season, our men's team has done really well, and it's had a great year. I'm excited for them to make the playoffs in the national tournament again this year. The spring sports, you know, we're in that crossover time right now where it's kind of busy, and the spring sports are getting ready, rolling as well. But things are going really, really well, John. I'm really happy to be part of that.
Oh, I'm sure. Well, I did a little bit of research on Baker, just trying to get it to know a little bit of the history. And one thing we wanted to kind of do it as a trivia question, but the interviews got long, and then I didn't get to segue in quite. But I think my homework says this is true. You can verify for us. Baker is the first university or college, I guess would be better, in Kansas?
Yes, that is true.
That's incredible.
Yeah, first university in the state of Kansas in 1858. Opened the doors there and been going strong ever since.
Wow. And was your first interaction with Baker as a coach, or did you have some other legacy there?
Nope. The first interaction with Baker, I got the head coaching job in 2000. That was my first interaction with Baker, and kind of knew of Baker. You know, just I'm born and raised in Kansas and kind of knew of Baker, but not to the extent that I have now that I've been around for so long. But yeah, it's a great school academically, one of the top in the country. Very, very well known for our academics as well.
So you being a basketball guru, I'm sure you had some thoughts about the Baker play in the first half. What do you see? I mean, you get to see them all the time. I've seen maybe 3 games and not the whole thing, but, you know, just looking for things to glean from. Compared to how they've played this season, how are they doing tonight?
Well, you know, I think the thing with this Baker basketball team, they look to run, as you can see is happening right now. And I think your team also looks to run as well. So it's been a game of up and down, getting up and down the floor, some quick shots. We talked briefly before we got on, we had a scoring drought there in the first half for both teams, but a lot of threes being taken. You know, I think the thing for us tonight is we've got to make sure that we just contain your 2 big scoring threats, obviously, and are able to make some and ones and shoot the ball from the outside better than we did last game for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. Rigatuso, we knew he was could be a problem, and he's very effective when he drives to the basket. So as an attack player, he's a little bit scary, in my opinion. And I got to lay my peepers on the walkthroughs the last couple of days.
Sure.
What an athlete. I mean, he gets up really high. And then, of course, Harvey just seems to be just a great, sound, fundamental player, does a lot of things right, makes very few mistakes. The Baker team is impressive. And there it is.
There it is.
That's why on cue.
Yeah, that's what we like to do is get up and down the floor quickly, and you know that that right there, John, is what Baker's does best.
That's
in
kind of
transition.
the epitome of this team, and it looked like that in the walk around. Coach Douly was having fun with them today. They looked loose and really ready to come in and just play their best basketball. And I think defensively, they've done a great job. SAGU can put numbers up in bunches, and if you don't guard them. And as they kind of started doing that, and then all of a sudden, Baker locks down on defense, and next thing you know, they're back within 2, and then they take the lead. So Mike Sons, who was helping me commentate in the first half, we were both saying, yeah, we think there's probably going to be a lot of lead changes in this game.
I would agree. And I'll tell you the other thing that Baker has done really well all year is we are really sound defensively. That's one thing that Coach Douly has preached on, and they've done a really nice job of just being able to defend teams all year long. And so, you know, that was, like I said, that was a concern coming in, talking with Coach a little bit. We had to make sure that we just pay attention and,
of course,
and defend your team coming up and down the floor.
Yeah. I mean, there's not a whole lot of secrets about the way SAGU, they're smaller, so they're definitely faster. One of the fastest teams that I've watched this year. And you just take away what they do good, and then you have a chance. The problem is, can you keep up with the speed? Well, Baker has shown that they have a good speed and pace on their own, and since we've been talking, they have kind of gone on fire.
Yeah.
2 3-pointers, a dunk, and Coach Douly must have said something at halftime.
I'm sure he probably did. And, you know, the thing that I've enjoyed watching with our guys this year is just what you talked about. They can get up and down the floor. They can score some points in a hurry. They're fun to watch. And it always helps when you're making shots, right? Everything looks and feels just a little bit different when the ball goes in the basket.
Yeah, and maybe this second half, not as tight. You know, first round you get tight, you want to win. It's hard not to get tight, and you lose that kind of loosened feel that maybe you were intending to have, but now they're looking real loose.
Yeah, it's one of those things, too, that we have a lot of guys back from last year's team that made the national tournament. So, you know, that experience also helps. You get settled in a little bit and are able to hit some shots. And, boy, that's another big one.
So there's 3 family members on this team, and they're all out on the floor, and that's 3, 5, and 12. 12 is the cousin. The brothers are 3 and 5. And they all grew up just shooting 3-pointers.
It looks like it.
And
yeah.
you can tell,
Yeah.
man. It is fun to watch when they get going. I'm thinking as low a scoring half as it was first half, they're going to make up for it in the second half. Oh!
We're
I
on
thought
that
was
pace.
good.
We're
Yeah.
on that pace to make up for it in the second half for
Oh,
sure,
yeah.
John. Yeah.
And it's just a lot of fun when you can watch this. It's my favorite. And he shoots 52% on the year.
Yeah. That's 3 in a row for you guys, so
Yep.
good timeout.
And that's what happens.
Yeah,
That-
exactly.
There's going to be this ebb and flow to things. And Coach Douly, I'm sure, will go in and calm his guys down. And I'm thinking Delton's just wanting these guys not to get overly emotional, because still a lot of game to be played. Don't expend all that energy, because these guys over in the blue uniforms, they can play defense too. Don't forget. And so, just like we saw, there was a scoring drought in the first half. The scoring, what's the opposite of drought?
It's come in droves this half.
It really has.
Yeah,
So
I think it's going to be that half where there's going to be some runs like we've seen, right? Baker takes a little bit of a lead, and then SAGU comes back and scores, 6 quick points. And I just think that
9 there.
Yeah.
You guys were
right.
just up 6.
Yeah, you're right. So I think just the flow of the game and how both of these teams play, you can see that is a possibility to take place as the second half goes along, with a lot of lead changes, ball going back and forth a lot.
Yeah.
I anticipate that happening.
How's Texas treating you? Everyone been nice down here?
Yeah, it's been great.
It's
been
good
great.
Southern
I flew in
hospitality.
this morning, so
Okay.
I haven't been here too terribly long.
Got
but,
you.
but it's been great. Coach Douly said when they got here, everything's been going really, really well. So
Yeah.
I appreciate all the hospitality.
Oh, your guys represent Baker very well. All my interactions with coaching staff and players have been just a absolute treat, and you can be proud of these student athletes.
Well, it comes from the leadership of Coach Douly. I'll be real honest.
He's a great guy.
He's a great guy. He's a great family man. He's got really good character kids on his team, and that stems from the top down. So
yeah,
very, very grateful to have Coach on our side.
And he's got some great wisdom he's acquired now. I think he said he was in his 13th season, maybe 12th.
That's probably about right.
Okay.
Yep.
So he's now officially a true veteran. And of course, out of all the coaches, Coach Dill might be one of the youngest, but he's got 21 years of head coaching. He started when he didn't play, so
Really?
he started early, and so we got 2 chess masters at work in this
Absolutely.
game.
Yep.
This is going to be fun all the way to the end, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen in the chat, you guys have a lot of folks watching this game and really rooting on Baker.
Yeah, and
it's great to see.
Yeah, it is good to see. I know there were some people that wanted to come down and just couldn't make the long trip. So watching online, I'm sure there's a lot. There's also, we have 3 guys on our team from the Texas area, so bringing them back home has been really, really good. I know their families are here.
So Coach Douly told me that he met Delton Dill a couple years ago at a recruiting event here in Dallas, and then they just hit it off really, really great. And I don't know if I like the idea you coming down taking all our great talent.
There's plenty to go around, I'm sure, in the Dallas area.
Of course,
yeah.
of course. Oh, that's a great try from Harvey. And in the first half, I mean, that one didn't go, but they're obviously shooting at a much higher clip.
Gosh.
And then when he gets going, when Cortland Blake gets going, it's just amazing to watch. And that was his 4th made three-pointer, but he's only attempted 6. Oh, yes. He was doing that in practice.
Yeah. Noah can get to the rim quickly. Got some athletic ability.
He really does. Well, we were talking earlier, and I said I think Mitchell from Florida Memorial and Rigatuso would win it would be down to them for the dunk contest.
Yeah, I agree. Ty Henry, who just made that last shot, the thing I love about Ty Henry is he just does not take bad shots.
No, he doesn't.
He does not take bad shots, and his shooting percentage is high. Great kid.
Yeah, you could tell he knows where his spots are on the floor.
Sir.
And he works hard to get there and with an open lane. He just knows how to run off the picks or just run out of lanes. Extremely high IQ basketball-wise, at least. He's feeling it.
Yeah. He needs to have a good game. He's struggled the last few games for us, and so it's good to see him getting back on track.
Yeah, I had a feeling he was going to come out and really fired up and do well. He just looked nice and relaxed but focused in the practices here earlier in the week. Tight game, 56-55. SAGU up by 1 for now. And substitutions are clearing. And that is the Hall brothers both coming in, C.J. Hall and Alaric Hall, who I call the fastest man in the world, number 1 in the white jersey. Unbelievable speed. If he wasn't a basketball player, I think he would just break records left and right on the track.
I was just gonna ask you if he runs track here.
No, he doesn't, but I think he should.
He's feeling it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's I think 3 or 4
It's a beautiful thing.
Yeah. That's a beautiful thing if you're on your side.
Yeah.
It's not so much on my side.
It's true. It's true. He seems to respond to pressure really well. Like if you leave him wide open, he might not be quite as good, but when he feels the closeout, he just seems to lock in a little better. Pace is still, it's not yet at a frantic, but it's getting there. I'm just enjoying watching. Oh
gosh.
Slipped right out of his hands.
It did.
They're going to say that went out on Burling.
Yeah, Brock had it right there and just slipped out of his hands before he could get a hold of it.
I don't know, man. That looked like out on Trace Bowling. But here's our 10-minute media timeout. Wow. I knew it was going to be good. I just had the feeling it was going to be a tight game. And, of course, you can see all the action going on all around the nation. We've had a few upsets. We witnessed one here in the Schaefer Center earlier, the 15 seed beating the 2 seed Evangel over Florida Memorial. And I expect that Montana Tech Wayland Baptist to be real tight. Lewis Clark, the 11 seed. These seeds in the NAIA are, it's not quite like a blue dot, but it's good matchups. And Kaiser still holding on strong to the power. I personally think Oregon Tech is kind of a powerhouse. I expected them to really do well. So if Kaiser knocks them off, wow, my bracket, we did brackets here, and my bracket will be busted. Yeah. Northwestern looking really strong, beating a strong St. Mary of the Woods team. They had a great season this year. And this is that's the Naismith part of the bracket. So
I love this time of year, John. This is
Oh,
the best
man.
time of year.
I just love it. Justin Collins chases that one down. Gives SAGU another look at it. Blake out to C.J. Hall. C.J. Hall going with the reverse. Too much English. Not good. Baker comes away with the rebound. Ty Henry sizes it up. He's been hot all night. He's been hot all night. They just not in a row, but he is shooting really great tonight.
I think there are times that Coach Douly would wish that he would shoot a little bit more. He's a very, very unselfish player.
And the three play, at least the potential for a three-point play the hard way. And that's the gritty play from Rigatuso. Am I saying that right?
Yes, you are.
Okay, all
Yeah.
right, all right. It is just like it looks. So it always makes it easier. What a great, he just focused in, locked in. He changed positions midair and was not squared up, but somehow got that to perfectly kiss off the glass. And now he does. He completes the three-point play. And now it's 61-61. Off the shot clock. And that's going to be Baker ball. Cortland Blake now with 22 points and 4 rebounds. C.J. Hall has 12. And then Rigatuso has 21 of his own. And then Magoob's put in 10. Wildcats have a chance for a lead change, and there it is. Whittick gets the easy layup. Actually, probably wasn't that easy. He made it look easy.
He made it look easy. Yes, he did.
Here comes Cortland Blake. Oh.
That's a good foul. Good
Yeah,
foul.
it was a good foul,
Yeah.
but it looked like he might have almost stripped it. Oh, yeah, he covered up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good foul. Don't give him the easy one. But Cortland Blake is, I would say, the best free throw shooter on the team. It's nice to have a guy of his size to be able to do the inside and outside work. But it'd be really, I'm sure Coach Deal would love to have a true big man, a true center. Give him a 6'9" or 6'10" guy. And this team could have a little different feel to it.
Definitely, yes.
But I think, in the NAIA, most coaches will say that. Oh, my. Oh, he's just there.
He's just there, yep. Noah has a nose for the ball.
Actually, I like that. Good stop the play.
Yeah.
He was very aware that SAGU had the numbers. And he had 2 guys in the back, and he was in the back. So go ahead and foul.
Yeah, he only has 2. I was a little worried he had more than that, but that's just his second, so good foul.
Yeah, so 3 team fouls for SAGU, and it's not, I don't know why the Baker fouls haven't posted yet. Oh. Nice over the top. He can do it outside, inside. He's a dual threat player. Oh, that's nice. Oh, that's going to be that's actually going to be a technical, I believe. They're going to talk about it. Yeah, it is. They didn't call it right off the bat, but yeah. I wonder, they may look at the replay just to go safety, or I guess not.
Yeah, I don't think there was any safety there. I think he
just held on
to
well,
it.
you know, you never know.
Yeah,
like sometimes when you do attack real hard, you feel like somebody's under your feet.
Yeah. I think that's what Douly's maybe going to ask.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good request. Hey, can you go take a look at that? Make sure it's not a safety issue. No, they're going to go ahead with it.
No.
They felt pretty confident. I know he did. We would see the screen turn around if he looked at it. That's how I know he didn't look at it. Bowling.
That would be pretty interesting, though, if you could actually do that and get your rebound and then pass it out like he did.
Yeah, that would change the game quite a bit.
There's a replay of it going. Yeah, see. There wasn't anybody underneath him. He just missed the dunk and then tried to get it back to us.
Good punch out by Magoo. Maybe not the shot that I don't know if you saw the look from Coach Douly. He's just like, really?
Yep.
Okay.
You can get that one about any time, I think.
Yeah.
Ahmed.
Good, tough, swarming defense from Baker, making it tough on SAGU. Both teams really crashing down, trying to chase after the loose ball. And it is going to be ruled as a tap out from Baker. I mean, SAGU, and it would be Baker ball. Oh, you just kind of expect it to go in when he shoots it. I don't think Ty Henry saw that pass actually happen because it went right in front of him. Good turnaround. Does not go.
Cramp.
He is wincing. Rigatuso just doing a lot of work. And he has got 27 on the night.
Good defense.
That's great defense. Not really the shot I think Coach Dill would select for Larry Call. I think Larry thought someone was coming with him and they didn't show up, so he went into panic mode. Baker up 1, 66-67. Under 5 minutes left to play. Next dead ball, I think there will be a media timeout. So both coaches probably just trying to wait it out, and we'll most likely get that now. Yeah, and you can see both coaches know that it's timeout time.
Yeah.
So good hold off because let's see, SAGU has 2 timeouts left and Baker has 2 timeouts left, if that's correct from the scoreboard. There you go. You got some of the game stats there. Baker shooting 47%, just a little bit better than the Lions. Lions making up for it on the 3-point side with 48% shooting. Best AD in the country. Let's go Susan, you got some fans. Wow.
The shout out. I got some shout out on the commentary. Thank you all.
Yeah, that is awesome. I love it. I absolutely. I've been able to do a couple AD sessions. We had Florida Memorial's AD on as well, and I feel like I'm in the company of royalty. You guys have great fan bases that really know how to appreciate the people that do all the hard work. It's hard, folks. If you haven't ever coached, which most of you haven't, I get it. Coaching is hard. It is very rewarding, extremely rewarding, but it's a day in, day out. It's a tough job.
And John, I think that's gotten harder as the years have gone on, right? I think that there are definitely different challenges than when I was coaching. There are things that these young men and women coaches in the college ranks have to do differently than a lot of people even understand.
Yeah, the generations are really different now, and you have to adjust the way you approach it. I have heard that story from every coach that I talk to. I talk to a lot of coaches nowadays, and that sentiment that you just said is, I hear that all the time.
I bet, yeah.
So I always on Twitter, every few days I say, go hug your coach. Parents, go hug your kids' coach. They need it. Great shot from Noah Bowling in the corner. The home crowd getting loud.
Charge.
Oh, they're going to say that's a charge.
That's the right call.
I like the attack mode that Harvey went into, and he made the bucket, by the way. But it got waved off, and it's just a player control foul. Here come the Lions. The defense is ramping up for the Wildcats. Ty Henry keeps the Larry call on his backside, and then just does what veterans do. Comes down and completes the score. Oh, that's going to be on the line. So 2 great defensive possessions for Baker as it was starting to slip away, and they've done that all night.
Yeah,
as soon as SAGU starts to make a move, well, both teams have done that. As soon as each team gets a lead and then they start making a move to pull away, the defense just responds very well. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah, 2 great teams playing here tonight, John. This has been a fun game to watch. And
yeah, I think that because it's a little bit of a mirror matchup, they're bringing the best out of each other.
Exactly. Yep. This is what the March Madness time is about, seeing 2 good teams play and battle out and have the scores and change of possessions and change of scores go back and forth. That's the fun part of this time
It really
of
is. I mean, it's already emotional if you're a fan, and because you know it's just exciting. And then when you actually get what you want, it's even more exciting. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to watch a lot of the other games going around. There's 32 games going on tonight, Susan.
Yes.
32.
I know, isn't that crazy?
Oh.
Yeah.
It's so, just what a wonderful night.
Yeah.
And I'm sure there's been some buzzer beaters.
Oh, I'm sure
I
there
hope
have.
so.
Yeah.
I can't wait to go kind of try to find them.
Yeah. And I know we're watching the men's game here. The women's is also happening
tonight.
Tonight also. I believe it's tonight. There was some people watching some of our conference teams earlier tonight. So
okay, yeah. I think you're right. I did hear about. I think it was one of the Kansas pods had I think it was LSU-S had both teams in the same pod. So I do believe it is tonight. Both men's and women's started tonight.
A lot of basketball played.
Wow, so if you think of it that way, there's 64 games.
64 games, yes, sir.
Oh, my goodness. So good. Oh, he got fouled.
Oh, he's going to call
And they're going to call travel first.
Oh, my.
And Douly's going to let him know about it.
I thought he bobbled it.
Coach Douly fighting for his squad.
I thought he bobbled it. See, we have a difference of opinion there. You probably thought he traveled, and I thought he.
Actually, I called a foul. I didn't
true.
see the travel. But as soon as Coach Douly sensed he was going to call a travel, he got right up in his ear.
Mm-hmm.
Don't you call that travel?
Mm-hmm.
He called the travel.
Yep, he did.
So Quentin Harvey has now got 4 personal fouls. He has had a great night, 15 points, 11 rebounds, 3 assists. Just doing tons of work, which is par for the course for Mr. Harvey. I hope that didn't sound like, oh, it's just par for the course, like average. But I mean, he's used to doing a lot of work for this team.
Yes, he is.
No panic. Under 2 minutes. Baker just looking for a good shot. I think they're looking for Rigatuso to make something happen here, and then crash the boards.
Mismatch.
Oh, that's good. Goes in.
Saw that one coming, John. They had a mismatch with Noah and let him take it one-on-one.
7 ties, 6 lead changes. Got jumbled up down there, and that shot off the mark for Cortland Blake. He was a little too close. And there's going to be one of the final 2 timeouts from Baker. Coach Douly comes out and he calls it and says, I want a full timeout. We need a minute to talk about this. I'm sure Coach Dill was glad to get one because he only has 1 left.
This is going to be a great finish.
Oh, my goodness. I don't think I've ever had 2 competitors on the mic at the same time.
I know. I was thinking, do I stay on here, John? And
you're being so civil, and it's not like me either.
Maybe I should let your other partner come back on so you guys can cheer for SAGU.
Oh, he's probably losing his mind right now.
Well, we probably will, one of us be happy and one of us not when we get this game over with. So
well, it will not be our first loss of the season, so it might sting a little bit, but I think I mean one team is going to lose, so one of it is guaranteed.
Exactly. And one of us,
I've already prepared mentally. You know, I'm not going to rub it in your face, and I'm not going to cry about it in front of you at least.
Well, this is the fun last. What do we got? 107 left here. That I anticipate a few more lead changes here in the last minute for sure.
Very possible. I mean, it's tied, so you're not going to get any just fouling to stop the clock.
It's going to be all about execution here and defensive stops.
And you can see Coach Douly say, hey, let's work some clock. And they're going to say that's a block on Cortland Blake. That is going to send Smith. I believe Dylan Smith will go to the free throw line. No.
Yep,
oh,
Dylan.
Yeah, he was shooting. Yep. He's going to get 2. So Dylan Smith, he's got 5 rebounds, but has not gotten, and there he goes. First score of the night for Dylan Smith. So he got his first. It is very good time to get your first point.
Exactly.
Oh, he missed the second. Little upset with himself, but comes down, and now SAGU has to execute. Trace Bowling going all the way through the lane. Now CJ Hall has it. The roll down from Cortland Blake, and Hall coughs it up. 20 seconds left. SAGU's going to have to foul. Yep.
Send a Magoob to the line.
So still good scenario situation for the Lions. Sending number 3, the big guy, Magoob, to the free throw line. And no, actually, there's no one-on-one yet.
Oh, you're right.
I was fooled too.
Yeah.
I thought there was. One more foul. Well, the weird thing is that the scoreboard's not showing the totality of Baker fouls yet. But SAGU's now got 7. So it will be a one-on-one scenario.
I think when the electricity went out earlier, I was seeing that in the first half. The fouls didn't show up on there either. So must be a glitch in the system or something.
Probably. It probably needs to be rebooted, but you can't do that during the game.
Nope.
The score table, they'll have it. So maybe we can find out what the foul scenario is for Baker. That's very important at this point in the game. This is going to put Baker on the line for a 1-and-1. And that was SAGU's 7th foul to give. Just 3 more will put Baker in the double bonus. There you see your individual stat lines. Ty Henry with a crucial 17.
Quiet 17.
So Rigatuso has 27. Cortland Blake 28. It's really kind of been their show tonight. They've been battling back and forth. And here they come. It's time to play the final 16 seconds. No timeouts left for SAGU. So Coach Dill had to get all the information together and disseminated to the players what plays to run in these scenarios. And I think you probably, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think you want Dylan Smith shooting free throws over Magoob.
I would agree, yes.
So that was a very fortunate turn of events when they fouled Magoob without the one-on-one scenario. 3-point, 1 possession still, could be 2. That got touched, went out. 5.5 seconds. Now it's got to be a 3.
Yeah, and here's the question: do you foul here so that they can't get a 3? We'll see what Coach Douly's wanting them to do.
Yep. Yeah, he definitely sent in the. Got to foul him.
Well,
very smart. I will say, SAGU got beat on this exact play earlier in the season.
Is that right?
They fouled the team that they were ahead of by 2 points, and they just or 3. They fouled, sent the guy to the line. He hit the first one, missed the second one on purpose. It got tapped out, just no look, shot, threw it up, and now he's got to. Now Larry Hall's got to do. He's got to miss.
Yeah, he's got to miss this one.
And got to hope for a really good bounce. And of course, in that last scenario I was drawing up, Florida College hit the three-point shot to win by 1.
They got their 2 shooters out here, John, 23 and 12, if they do get it tapped out. Oh, gosh.
Oh!
Man.
Off the side of the rim.
Wow,
Baker steals a win on home court advantage for SAGU. And wow.
I think they may put some more time back on the clock here. So it looks like maybe what they're doing.
Did it bounce out of bounds right before the clock ended, I guess?
Yeah, it might be.
So they're going to check.
Yeah.
I got to use the replay system at least once.
Yeah, we haven't gone to replay tonight, have we?
Not tonight,
no.
The last few games we've done, it feels like we went 4 or 5 times, but it's been pretty clean tonight. So it doesn't, I mean, this is almost futile. It's going to be point something.
The question is, who did it go out on? I didn't see that.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe that is what they don't know, and they just want to make sure. And we're kind of watching them watch. We don't put it up when the refs actually watch the replay in the gym. So if we were to show you right now, the gym would see it. So we try to spare the referees the scrutiny.
John, that was executed almost to perfection, as you just mentioned with that.
Yeah, it really did. It dropped straight down. I think he would have rather it popped up, but they did get it batted out. So they got a look.
He got a good look.
Wow.
Yes, he did.
That was incredible. As I glanced over, I feel like there was only maybe 0.78 seconds left on the clock. So I just assumed it went out on SAGU, but I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on that either. There's a lot of bodies down there to look between. So
I mean, let's say if it's not a full second, that is tough to get off a look, especially because Baker's going to play the perimeter 100%. They're going to leave the 2-point area wide open. So the teams are waiting for the referees, as you see, are gathered down there, all 4 of them. There's 3 that call, and then 1 substitution ref that sits at the scores table. They're really taking a look at this.
They are. It's taking a little bit longer than what I thought it would.
Maybe they are trying to. Sometimes when the cameras get zoomed in, it may take the shot clock part out, which has the play clock on it at that point. So maybe it's tough for them to really see what was on the clock. I think the longer they go, the more I'm leaning that they're going to put time on the clock. They're talking about it now. Might be inconclusive. What do you feel like happened? Of course, I'm interjecting here what they're saying.
Yeah, I think they're going to put time on the clock. I just don't know how much, obviously.
Now the explanation for
whose ball it is.
Yeah. Coach Douly is like, don't worry about the paint, man.
Oh, 1.4. Oh, okay. Really, they're going to go 0.1?
I thought it had to be at least 0.4. There's no way you could do it with point one. Oh, so it's Baker ball.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a little silly, but I guess that's what they saw, so they had to call it. But it's theoretically impossible to get a shot off in 0.1 second. And it would have to be from the 3, so I mean, I don't know how it would happen. You'd have to, like, volleyball bump it. And officially, Baker University moves on to round 2 to face off against an old conference opponent. How do you feel about that, Susan Decker?
You know, it's ironic that we come all the way down here and play somebody that we haven't played them this year, John, because they switched conferences this year. But we have battled with Evangel for many years. Coach Douly has been really competitive with, and I'm drawing a blank on Evangel's coach's name right now.
Well, Bert Capel now.
Capel, yes,
Yep.
thank you. So yes, it'll be a great game. You know, I think the ironic thing is both teams are going to know one another really well coming into that. So it's obviously, I'm happy for our guys.
Yeah.
It was.
Yeah. No, congratulations.
Yeah.
Hats off. They hit the shots when they needed to. They got down, didn't get discouraged. And we saw under 2 minutes, is about 1:55 left on the clock, and no panic. They just looked poised and under control, felt confident about the play that was being drawn up, and they just did everything they needed to do to get the win. So congratulations, Baker University and Wildcat Nation.
Thank you so much, and thanks, John, for having me on.
Oh, well, I don't think we originally intended for you to be on the whole half, just because we didn't want to bother you, but it worked out great, and you got to be on air as your Wildcats advance at least to one more round.
Yeah, and they, if you're hearing them celebrating, they just got to put their their sticker on the bracket on the wall. So that's always fun for the winning team to be able to do. So,
yeah, it is. And so one more tomorrow. We will be broadcasting that one. I believe that game starts at 5. If I've been
5 or 5:30.
5:30.
Might be 5:30.
Yeah, they just corrected us. It is 5:30. And so be sure to tune in, Wildcat Nation. You guys have one more chance to advance to Kansas City, and that's the pinnacle.
Yes, absolutely.
That is the pinnacle.
That would be, honestly, for either team, Evangel or Baker, going to Kansas City is fairly close for both of us. We're a little bit closer than Evangel, but the crowds there in Kansas City would be very good for either team.
Well, 4 very classy schools showed up in Texas to this number 4 pod in the Naismith bracket, and they duked it out tonight in a great way. Evangel and Baker advance. They will play tomorrow. It is, rest assured, that is going to be a great game. And 2 old foes will once again take the court together, and that's going to be a lot of fun. I can't wait to call that. And just stay tuned. You'll see a lot of these brackets start to shape up. It's getting late in the evening, so most of these games will have an end. And follow NAIA basketball for sure. This is exciting competition, and the student athletes that play at this level are just tremendous people. Not just great athletes, but tremendous people. And these coaches work so hard. All right. Well, it's been a great night. Susan, thank you so much.
No, thank you, John, for having me. Appreciate it.
It was an absolute honor and pleasure to be able to share the mic with you and your fan base. I mean,
absolutely. Yeah. Thanks for everybody listening in back wherever you're at for Baker Nation. hopefully tune in tomorrow afternoon or early evening, 5:30. Watch the Cats again tomorrow.
Yeah, and maybe we see you again tomorrow.
You just tell me where you want me, John.
Oh, I love it.
I'll be wherever you'd like me to be.
I love it. All right, guys. It's been a great night of basketball. We still have more to come tomorrow, so be sure to tune in a little bit early, around 5:15. We'll get pregame started, and then we'll tip it off at 5:30. You have been watching the SAGU Sports Network.